Alright, hey guys, so we're just going to start off with some laps so that y'all can see how the car is going to handle tonight for the race. Keep in mind I haven't turned any laps yet in this car. So, I have no idea how this is going to go just yet. Turn down the quality, but I can see the chat. So let's take a look and let's run some laps around this track real quick. Get an idea of how this car feels for these guys. We'll be out on the track.
.122.
Guess it takes a while for the tires to come up. It's a 100-lap race. So let's see if we get an idea of how this car is.
14.712.
Does feel a little bit loose at the start, and that's a little bit on the tight side, but that's not trying to carry too much speed in. Get the extra there a little bit.
14.644.
Definitely it's getting a little bit quicker as the tires get a little bit of wear on. So I would say this car is pretty nice. Just like last week at Gateway, it takes a couple laps before the tires are there.
14.443.
I'm pretty sure their lap times are set and they're in the road. Maybe we're going to look at higher lines so they carry more speed.
14.399. 14.482. 14.556. Fourteen point 675. Fourteen point 403.
Definitely has to be a little bit later in the run. Maybe a little bit of drag. The first time being on this track with this car, so
14.254.
yeah, it's nice. I'll give it that.
14.186.
I like how I'm able to run the apron.
14.103. 14.14. 14.105.
Tires are nice once they're going in there. We run some pretty nice laps around the track.
14.126.
Wow, 13-second lap. Alright.
14.214.
We're not going all the way out, so that's not going to Probably cutting it a little bit too tight.
14.135.
Trying to see if I can get a time similar to what they're running, but I can't get it down to that fast.
14.07.
Yes, I don't park it all the way out of the corner. Cut off a little bit to get it to come down. When they are close to it, but
14.026. 14.097.
really more speed. We're going to run to the tank empty so that way we can idea how long we've got fuel and how to operate. So
14.098. 14.094. 14.211. 14.016.
Normally racing VR, this console was unable to drive so much better.
14.126.
Don't know why, but it's so much better than the VR this car.
13.919. .063.
Yeah, once the tires warm, wearing a little bit, the car definitely seems to pick up because it's only 2 gallons in the tank, just under 2 gallons in the tank anyway.
14.045.
Running low on fuel at the end of the tour isn't going to make a huge difference in this car or how it handles.
14.143. 14.119.
So has everybody figured out it takes about 2.5 laps to get the tires warm enough to really go?
I think
Go, Terry.
14.105.
It's Thursday.
14.098. 12 car down low. 14.058. 14.23. 14.124. 14.141. 14.142. 14.14. 14.043. 14.098. You have about 5 laps left of. Slow car down low. 14.093.
That's one of the things I can't do with every driver. But I don't even want to series regulars. That's for elite regulars. That's something I know I can do.
14.062. Inside. Clear low, clear low. Full car down low. 14.188. You have about 2 laps of fuel left. .093.
And the slow 35 miles an hour. The speed. What time is it? Yeah, let's run a little bit, run another run, just get an idea. One and a half seconds. Ow.
Tippy toe. I wasn't going to crowd you. I know you're on cold tires.
Oh, I'm just seeing what can be gotten away with since I'm up in the booth. I get to experiment a little more.
Yeah, I haven't figured anything out to make them warm up any quicker. Them first couple laps are just scary.
Oh, I did fine the first time I tried it. It's just I'm on the, I have the stream going already for the broadcast. So I'm just running laps to give everyone a first-person view if they want to tune in early.
Oh, I clicked over and checked it.
.979. 14.469. 14.41.
Yeah, it takes a couple laps for the tires to go up, but a couple more before you get the speed in.
14.239.
First two, I think you're getting the back tires warm. The front ones, yeah, about 2 more, then you can pretty much put her where you want.
14.297.
Try running a little bit lower line in the straightaway here.
14.168.
I'm sorry, spotter was over here. What was that?
I said try running a little bit lower line in the straightaways. It's actually quicker to run a little bit away from the wall.
14.16.
Oh, I'm not even trying to throw a good time up. I'm just up lapping.
Same here.
14.
Try to chase Johnny down really
115.
quick.
Where are you? Wait up for you.
14.08.
Oh, I was on cold. It took me a couple laps that you were ahead of me already.
Yeah, I'm on this front straight right now. It's going up.
14.114.
I did find last night if she burped on you, you can make it a lap coasting. It's a slow roll down pit lane, but you will make it.
Yeah, that's what I found out just a little bit ago.
14.068.
I lost count. And if you jiggle it, she will stutter a little further.
14.067. .07. 14.005.
Hits the wall a little bit there.
No, I was floating up. I figured I'd get between, behind Johnny and pull you up the rest of the way.
14.032.
No, I messed with this setup until I could run the high line with it.
Got one outside.
If we can't get
Stay
somebody
low.
in the high line, there's no passing.
14.033. Stay low. There's a car on the high side. You're clear high. Clear high.
Same thing with the Dover setups I've been looking at. If it can't run the high
Got
line,
one
then we
outside.
can't have it because if we can't get both lanes going, there'll be no passing.
14.026. Stay low.
Yeah, and at least here there's kind of a double groove anyway, so that helps a lot. Don't think Dover has that though.
14.
Dover isn't bad, but you got to have
046.
enough wing up on top or that fine line between the rubber and that dirty concrete really kills you.
13.954.
Yes, doesn't mean we want to caution every 2 laps, so either. That's what I'm trying to get rid of.
14.073.
I think it's starting to work. That and driver's patience is really starting to work good.
Oh yeah, it's improved a lot over the last season.
14.051.
Touch Tuesdays, and yeah, I was really surprised that quite a few times there were people I thought that was like, oh, here we go. Oh, they lifted.
14.
Damn, they lifted.
023.
Well, a good example is the first Daytona race, we had 10 cautions for 40 laps. This time we had 1 for 4 laps.
And really, the setup for there was
015.
not much. I mean, I just, since it was a night race, I just adjusted tire temp.
Well, it worked.
13.9.
Well, when they're good, I don't want to tweak too much. I just want to make sure we get the best tires, because that seems to be the one that kills us. Sorry, Johnny.
That's my own fault. Right, there's no way to-
13.945.
I let it slide up a little bit. I could have crowded the corner out a little better.
13.949. You got one
There I
inside.
go, talking
All
and
clear,
driving.
all clear.
Just as bad as a women.
Stay high. All clear,
He's
all
actually
clear.
practicing hitting the aprons in the corners in case I get forced down it. The car handle's okay, so
14.404.
Yeah, it's surprisingly stable down there.
yeah, you can jump on the black on the dark asphalt through the turn and you won't lose it.
And I'll make you feel even better, the 05s at Dover, if you hit the asphalt in both the corners, she will not take off unless you really hit it wrong.
And that's good. That helps. If something happens in front of you, you can't stop on the time.
14.084.
Well, again, that one, it helps the transition from the concrete over. It's kind of like here. It's a nice, smooth kind of roll. It isn't that drastic angle. You know, that's what always kills us.
13.92.
It's kind of like hitting a drain with a 10-speed bicycle tire. You know, you go right down that notch. It sucks.
Yeah. I grew up in New York. I used to ride on the boardwalk with my 10-speed. And you get the wheels caught between the boards and you go for a ride.
Oh yeah, there's head over heels whether you want to or not.
Yeah, I just did it a few years ago, actually.
14.024.
You're a kid, it's no big deal. You get a little older, it hurts.
As I have found, we don't bounce like we used to, right?
14.079.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, no, good. No, I'm just gonna lay here a minute.
Embarrassed, too, yeah. People come run over and help you.
13.976.
Before you get up, you do the glance around. Did anybody see that?
Yeah, there's a pop guy fixing the bench. He came flying. You okay, mister? And you're not allowed to ride bikes on here. No less.
14.07.
Now, not that it matters, of course, because you won't be racing, but you aren't blinking. Like once every 2 or 3 laps, when you hit the corner, she'll just do this little out and back in kind of blink right there.
That's because I have the broadcast going.
14.00.
Oh, I know. So if somebody gets up kind of near you and blows up, you just so you know.
Yeah, that's why it's a good thing I'm not racing. That's why I've stopped doing any broadcasting.
14.247.
Okay, 45, 46, she burps, and I'm coasting.
That's what I found, which makes it a 2-stop race.
14.139.
That's what we were kind of hoping it'd be.
Still a quick one, because of the lap times return.
14.
The one time that it hurts here is in the pits. If you have a boo-boo or you get dragged in, the laps click really quick. I found that out last
You have about
night.
5 laps left of
That's the only reason you don't want it to sputter.
13.98. Have a slow car on the bottom. 14.225. Have a slow car on the bottom. Slow car down low. Go high.
Nice pink car, Don.
14.07.
Thank you.
Thought I was passing some bubble gum.
You got about 2 laps left on fuel.
No, it's Hello Kitty.
14.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
83.
Fitting.
Saying, me, wow.
Alright, good tip for those that'll actually be running the race. Be careful when you try to go down to the apron when you're
You've got
trying
wheel
to
damage.
pit. A car does not like it. Did
Your
a
car has too
360
much
going down
damage.
to
We've
the
got to
apron.
fix it.
Did you use the brakes?
Yeah, I was using the brake.
If you're coasting downshift, she'll lay right down on there. Once you got onto it, then you can brake. But yeah, if you're kind of transitioning, don't brake.
I just like having the fastest time, though. I'll be happy with that. That's 2 out of... actually, that's all 3 so far that I've been in the practice. And ended up at the top of the charts, at least for a little bit of it.
Go. A little victory is a victory, goddammit.
Well, when I'm not running the race, I take what I can get.
I just jump in to make sure the setup's good. I'm not even gonna run behind these guys. I kind of think I need a load of black dirt in my backyard. It's turned into divots, and mowing it is way more stressful than my back leg. So I think I'm going to skip that many turns tonight.
I'd love to run the Charlotte NIS, but I just don't have the time to do it. $600 miles of Charlotte is just a pain.
On the bladder, on the elbows, sometimes shoulder and neck, yeah, because you're never breaking directions. It's always to the left, back and to the left.
Well, I was thinking more on the exhaustion because I have to get up on Saturday morning early and Thursday morning early, so I can't run those two races. And I'm at work for the Thursday race. Oops.
I guess it for me, it's the length of those races, because once you kind of commit to doing it, you're kind of stuck there, and if you get screwed over because some other idiot can't drive, and then you really are kind of still stuck there trying to redeem whatever you can.
I did the Richmond 400 lap race last fall. That was my first NIS race. Imagine how fun that was.
Not very.
No, I had a 34-minute engine repair after about 50 laps. Ended up finishing, I think, 8th or 9th. Alex was my spotter, and when I ended up getting wrecked out, we ended up playing Madden while my engine was getting swapped out.
Yeah, that is one nice thing about having a second computer. If I'm stuck during that, at least I can go look stuff up the internet or play tanks on that one.
Alright, well, I've got my fill of the car, so I'm going to go ahead and get the final preparations for the broadcast. So, it's good talking to you, Terry, and everybody else.
Thanks for doing it, sir.
Alright, so they are muted now. So
It seems like a great setup
I'll be
here.
muting myself here, and we will be going to...
I don't know much about.
Yeah, okay, so it is going. So, let's go ahead and... And we are live here at Bristol.
As we move on from a scintillating race in the IRO5s at Daytona, we are here tonight at Bristol for the IndyCar Speedway League Pro Mazda Icebreaker Series. It is round 8 of the season. We're almost near the end. The end is almost nigh, and the championship fight is hotting up. Joining me in the booth is Tyler Graff, who's our race control for tonight as well, and we have Forrest Sparks. How are you guys doing?
I'm better than a shit-covered lollipop.
That's fair enough.
It's descriptive, I think. I've been sick for the past week and a half, so...
Okay. Well, hopefully the racing tonight should cheer you up slightly.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, definitely. So, Tyler, what are you expecting out of tonight's race? Who's your pick of the bunch?
Honestly, with the little I've seen, you can't bet against Isaiah Dupree or Ronnie Osmer. They've been the class of the field so far this season. Without Jake Gordon in here tonight, though, it does open up a door for possibly a first-time winner. In the past, we've seen Isaiah with his internet issues, and Ronnie being a newcomer to the league, he's kind of had some of those rookie quarrels in a couple of the races. So hopefully we see a first-time winner, but you can't take your money off the anybody in the top 5 in the speeds right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because Ronnie Osmer is always fast when he's racing in the Mazda. He's missed a few weeks, which is a shame because he's had real life things to do. But Ronnie Osmer, he's definitely one you cannot discount. I mean, another one that you can't discount is Jose Olivas. I mean, out of all the rookies that are running in this series, he is the top dog right now. He's second in points. I think he's 30 points behind Mike Whitaker in the point standings right now. So he's holding his own out there. He's not won a race yet, but he's been very consistent. So I'd watch out for him tonight.
Well,
For sure.
Well, if Mike is the points leader, that means that Jose has the lead because anybody that's a full-time driver in our 2 main series does not technically get credit here in this series. So technically, Mike drops off.
That is true. So Jose Olivas is our points leader going into this race. So anything could happen. I mean, Martin Miller is the next person away from Jose Olivas, and I believe he's not racing tonight. So that could leave the door open for another one of our rookies to make it up there tonight. Whether it's Brandon Graham, who had a fantastic race at Gateway last week, or Dave Daniel, who's making his debut tonight.
Thomas Powell, Drew Diane Carley,
Jack Carley.
Dylan Lucas, I think, is kind of a mix, and Jason Colburn are all new names that I recognize on there.
Yeah, Drew Giancarli, I think he ran with us he ran at Charlotte and he ran at Richmond, and he had bad races in both of those races, so I'm hoping he gets a good result out of tonight.
Well, this is the most new guys I've seen in one of our Mazda races. And real quick before we get to the qualifying, I just want to point out so that everyone watching and didn't tune in for when I was running laps in the practice session, to get an idea of how these cars are going to be, the first 2 laps you got to wait for those tires to warm up because it wants to spin. It's really loose the first couple laps. Then it takes a couple more laps to get the speed in the tires. And if anybody's been watching these cars drive around, once those tires warm up, you can use the apron, and it actually gives you about a 1/10 or 2 a lap if you can run it just right.
Yeah, and it's a very short track. So like Richmond, it's going to take 2 or 3 laps to get your tyres warmed up. So it'd be interesting to see how people work on that and use it to good effect.
Well, the fuel window in practice, I was able to get it 45 laps before it started to sputter. 46 if you really want to push it, but you'll be sputtering that whole last lap. And so we're looking at a 2 pit stop race this time, and you might see some people try and double stint the tires to try and make it, because it's a 20.5 second, about a 20.5 second pit stop if you take tires.
I think the more experienced drivers, especially the ones that we've seen in the bigger cars, the RL5s and the DW12s, we'll for sure see them double stint. That's just because I know some of the strategies that they run being teammates with a couple of the drivers in the field today. But I think for sure we'll see some different strategies play out, and there'll be quite a few cautions, I feel like, so hopefully tire strategy doesn't come into the deciding factor.
Well, it is Bristol, and Bristol has a tendency to bring out a lot of cautions during the race. And speaking of tyres, I mean, double stinting tyres in this race might be a very difficult thing to do, seeing as with all the other cars that actually run here, with the Gen 6s, the Xfinities and the trucks, we've all known that this track loves to eat tyres, and with a car going as fast as a Pro Mazda, I'm pretty sure it'll love to eat the tyres in this category.
Yeah, with the amount of downforce you got on the car, and I mean, it's a constant load here at Richmond, or at Bristol, due to the banking everywhere. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does decide to double stint, because I know the only true advantage you'd get to double stinting is those first couple laps out on the track, because you got hot tires on the car. Like Sam was saying, it'll definitely be interesting to see what plays out.
So the double stint that I would do wouldn't be taking that first set and making it go for another 45 laps. I would wait, and I would take tires that first pit stop, and then, because that way you only have to go another 10 laps on those tires and only have to go 55 laps on a set of tires when you're technically still double stinting them, because you still have to pit for fuel to make it to the end of the race.
Yeah, and that's what is going to make this race interesting, seeing who does double stint them tyres and get that fuel that they need for this race. And we'll see who ends up out on front, but like Tyler says, you can't discount the guys like Isaiah Dupree, Ronnie Osmer, people like that. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to watch.
Well, Alex just said in the chat that the older the tires got, the car started to feel better and better last night when they were doing a practice race.
Oh, well, that should make things even more interesting then.
Now,
We've actually got a... Oh, yeah, I said we actually got a game changer here. Creighton Carter just connected. I did not think he'd be running tonight.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
He has a ton of experience in these cars, especially in short tracks, so he will definitely be a fighting force tonight as well.
And with Creighton Carter joining the session, that brings the field up to 16 cars tonight for us, which should make things pretty dicey out there, with a lot of cars out there.
Oh yeah, and just want to point out to people who don't know, the reason the tire, if you know about these cars and you're wondering why our fuel run is only 45 laps at Bristol, it's because we're running a 10% fuel load, so that's probably why the tires still felt pretty good during their race last night after them getting older and older and older.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these Pro Mazda cars, is that we have to put it at a 10% load, because if we put it at 100% load, you'll be in the pit lane for about 10 minutes just filling up your tank for
that
eternity.
They'd never have to pit.
Exactly.
It'd basically be like your Saturday night late model or street stock race, whatever you want to call it. Which nothing wrong with those, as we see two cars spin out on the racetrack in practice here. But the reason we do that is because we want these guys to strategize. We want them to learn how we run the races in the big cars, so they're used to entering the pits and calling their pits and doing all the little housekeeping things that we have to do in the cars, in the big cars, so they're basically not caught off guard.
And also so we can see exactly how they go about their strategies, see how they do things. It's all part of the getting used to the league rules process too.
Yeah. As the field is about to rise up to 17 cars now, because winner from last week, David Llewellyn, has just joined the session as well, so the field's getting bigger and bigger as we get closer to that qualifying time.
Well, it's Bristol, baby. It's the last great Coliseum.
And I will be right back. I'm going to go speak to somebody else here at TeamSpeak real quick.
Right.
He's gone to speak to Creighton, possibly. But anyway.
Like Isaiah.
But anyway, yeah, the last three races of this season are going to be extremely exciting. Obviously, we've got Bristol tonight, Phoenix next week, and we've got the season. we got the season closer at Indianapolis. How excited are you for those last ones?
Well, I'm going to be racing Phoenix, but there's a little confusion with the schedule because the schedule I have says Phoenix next, but I'm being told by a couple different people, Tony and Alex both, that it's actually Indy next week and then Phoenix. I'm still not sure what's going on there, even though the schedule I have says Phoenix next week, which is the one I'm actually going to be on the track for.
Either way, I mean, we're both going to be. Both of those tracks are going to be utilised, whether it's next week or the week after. So, either one, they're going to be both exciting. I mean, we ran Phoenix in the pre-season.
User joined your channel.
In the pre-season showcases, and they seem to be pretty. We seem to run really well at Phoenix. It's proved that some exciting racing came about during that. Indianapolis, we've never run there before in the Pro Masters, so that should be very interesting for people that have never ever run a Pro Master around there before.
I'm kind of wondering, well, no, I was going to say, I'm kind of wondering if we maybe should have made it the Indy road course so that it would utilize these cars a little bit better, because those long straightaways, these cars are going to top out probably 3/4 down the stretch.
Yeah. But I have seen a few races with Pro Masters at Indianapolis, and they are pretty good. As we go to qualifying, by the way, let's see who comes out on top in this. I mean, the times are very close in practice, so... As everybody's getting ready to do their solo runs around Bristol Motor Speedway. While everybody's getting ready to put times in, as Dylan Lucas puts the first time in, this Sunday we are back at Daytona in the DW12s. We're actually going to, it's on Memorial Weekend, and the memorial we're doing this weekend is actually the Dale Earnhardt Memorial, which is going to be exciting. Are you going to be running for that, Forrest?
I'm not running that one. Basically, when I did not attend the Auto Club DW12 race, I was officially locked out of contention for making the playoffs, so I just haven't been racing anymore because I didn't want to interfere with everybody who is trying to make it.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a lot better in the IRO5s. You're definitely up there looking for the chase. I mean, I'd say your primary focus is the IRO5s right now.
For sure. I'm only 3 points to the good, and if I didn't get involved in that wreck at lap 18 Tuesday night, I probably would be in much better shape, because Bob, who is in 13th, 3 points back from me for that last spot, finished about 5 spots ahead of me, so he definitely gained a lot of ground.
Yeah, and obviously Dover, which is the last race of the regular season, is going to be a very interesting race. As times are coming flooding in right now. Isaiah Dupree and Creighton Carter, the two teammates in Team NLR, if I'm right, Tyler?
Yes, NLR. I don't think there's any badging on these cars because their designer hasn't gotten around to that yet. So,
but they're 1 and 2 right now. Isaiah Dupree has got a 2/10 of a is in the lead and by 0.2 of a second, which is a huge gap if you consider the way these cars go around. Third is Ronnie Osmer. Fourth, Mike Erter, who's been running very well this season, sporadically. Jose Levis, our championship leader, is in 5th. Dylan Lucas 6th. Dave Daniel, debutant for tonight, is 7th. Michael Whitaker, unofficial points leader, is in 8th. Johnny Antonucci is 9th, and rounding up the top 10 is Drew Giancarli.
I just want to say I like the shade that Tyler was throwing at himself there for a little back there.
I know, right?
Speaking about Daytona, I'm super pumped. It's as a driver in the series, it's nice to go be this close to the chase, knowing you have a win. You can just relax. It takes the edge off of the race, if that makes sense.
It's even better for you because you won the Daytona race in the DO12, so you have that win from the beginning of the season.
That is, me and everybody else in this league forgets that I won at Daytona. And I actually won last Sunday night at Iowa, so I'm hoping to keep the momentum going here going into the chase. But I know anything's possible, and there's tons of drivers in this league that have proved to kick my ass and everybody else's ass over the weeks. So it's very, very, very competitive league.
And the greatest thing about this Sunday is that we get to honour one of the greatest racing drivers of all time as well.
Yeah, at the style of tracks that he has just shown so much dominance. I mean,
Family has shown dominance.
yeah, the family's shown dominance. I'd love for us to do a before the end of the year here to do a an homage to Dale Earnhardt as well, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well, for because he's retiring, and it'd be cool to have everyone run into cool bunch of Mountain Dew 88 schemes or Budweiser schemes or whatever era of Dale Jr. is your favorite.
Well, I reckon during the close of this, as the new season begins, season 3 of the IRO 5s, I'm pretty sure it'll be close to the end of the NASCAR season anyway, so we can do some kind of pay some kind of homage to him as we kick off the new season. I'm pretty sure it'd probably be Daytona or something anyway.
It'd be Talladega, because that's
Yeah,
what
actually, I think it'd be cool for us to do it either at Talladega or Texas, because he got his first win in both Xfinity and Monster Energy Cup Series. He got his first wins at both at Texas.
Okay, as Tyler, I believe you're getting ready for the race meeting right now.
Yes, I am. I will be back.
Yeah, big thing. One I want to point out to the people who are curious. I know we're in the Star Mazdas, but we've already talked about the schedule for this. So I don't know if Tony and them have talked about it on the main broadcast. But after we hit to Dover, our first round of the playoffs will be at Michigan and Homestead, which are actually, despite being very fast tracks, are very different in style. You've got Michigan at the 2-mile D-shaped track, and then you've got Homestead as, a 1.5-mile oval.
Yeah, it's a very, very fast track. Both of them are actually. A lot of competitive racing was had at Michigan and Homestead during the regular season. So with the chase thrown in the next time we go around there, and it's going to make things very exciting. I mean, I'm not in the chase in either series, but personally, I'm looking forward to going back to those tracks again.
Well, I'm excited because, for me, Michigan and Homestead were probably my top 2 races this year. If I hadn't made a bad strategy call late in the race at Homestead, I would have had a top 5 there as well, and I finished 4th at Michigan, and that was my first race after sitting out 3/4 of Charlotte and the Kentucky race, which actually leads me into the next one. The next round after that would be Talladega, then Kentucky, and then we ended at Indianapolis. So we actually don't run at Texas again the rest of this season.
No, which goes for the other tracks that are usually popular in this series. I mean, Pocono and Charlotte, we've only been there once all season, as well as Atlanta as well. That was another popular race. Maybe next season they'll be thrown in, maybe not. We're not sure yet, but for this season they won't be there. But I'm sure the tracks that are there for this season are going to be very, very exciting to run at. And come at Indianapolis, we'll find out who will be crowned our second IRO 5 champion and our first ever DW12 champion.
Yeah, the one thing I'm hoping for is Indy will remain our season finale, because it just fits. It's the car, it's the track. I mean, they're both called Indy. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Indianapolis is the home of IndyCar, so obviously the name IndyCar came from Indianapolis, didn't it? So
I think so. I actually don't know the history of Indy cars.
yeah, I mean, Indy is short for Indianapolis, so I'm obviously, me being British, I'm not really 100% clued up on IndyCar, but even though I do race them, but I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. That's where it spawned from, the series, the IndyCar series, running at ovals, road tracks, and yeah, it all grew from the very first Indianapolis 500 in the early 20th century.
All right, so as we're getting close to the end of qualifying here, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our sponsors all up on the screen real quick.
I'll let you call them out because I can't see them.
Yeah. All right, so our main sponsor is, of course, RobertTechJobs.com. He's one of our drivers in the main series, and he was competing for a spot in the chase, but unfortunately I think he has fallen just a little bit too far out. But in other news, if you have anything in the Midwest, I'm blanking on what Tony normally says, temp to hire positions in the Midwest, just contact RobertTechJobs.com and let him know the ISL sent you. Robert Lacovaro, the guy that I'm battling for that last spot in the RO5s with Convergent Composites. Tyler Graff with Motorsport Graphic Design there, the MGD. David Llewellyn with the DHL Express, Hoot Baker, who was in the booth with Tony Tuesday night, and Hanover Fist Racing with the disabled. I can't read that whole entire logo because my screen is so small.
Disabled American Veterans.
Thank you. And he is actually also our setup provider for almost every single race we run. So thank him for all the setups that he makes that keeps this racing very exciting.
And he actually made the setup for tonight's race as well, so thanks go out to him for this awesome setup around Bristol.
We can't. This league can't begin to thank Terry enough for what he's done for the league. He busts his ass every week to build us setups that we go out and usually they're fantastic. So
well, he's such a setup mind that he doesn't have Martinsville. But when we were still running the Xfinity cars on Friday nights, one of our other drivers who is no longer in the league, so I won't bring up the name, was out running laps trying to get the setup made before we ran the session, and he had Terry in his ear the whole time on TeamSpeak, and he would tell him, "This is what the car's doing. What do you want me to change?" He would change it, go back out there, and it would be better. Terry was telling him by just how he was saying the car was running, what changes to make to that car to make it feel better, and it ended up making it a beautiful setup. And he never once got into the car. He was pretty much like Jack and House Ray over him. He knew what changes to make to that car really well.
Exactly, and like I said, Terry always builds a great setup. It's usually up to the drivers on what they think of it, but just the work he puts into this league as a whole is admirable. He works so hard for everybody.
Right.
It's great.
Who got our pole?
Right, as the cars are gridding up now, let's give you a rundown of who's starting where for tonight. On the first row of the grid, we have Isaiah Dupree and Thomas Powell. Row 2, we have Creighton Carter and Brandon Graham, who's still having a very good run so far this season. Ronnie Osmer and Mike Erter make up row 3. Row 4 is Jose Olivas and Dylan Lucas. Rounding up your top 10 in row 5 is Dave Daniel on his debut and Mike Whitaker in 10th place. Row 6 is Drew Giancarli and Johnny Antonucci. Row 7 is Robert Lacavara and David Llewellyn. Row 8 will be Michael Hoot Baker, one of our sponsors, and Jason Colburn. And riding shotgun on the field in the back row will be Martin Miller and Dominic Byrne. And yeah, Martin Miller is a late entrant to this race. He joined just before qualifying ended.
So we get to see our top of the points battle starting to unfold, and race control, keep an eye on that guy on the second row outside. It looked like he was starting to blink a little bit. Maybe that's just my end, because I was told I was blinking earlier when running practice laps.
As the field's just about to roll off now. Guys, 100 laps around here. Tyler, you said who your money's on. Who's your money on, Forrest?
Isaiah Dupree.
Isaiah Dupree, yeah. I mean, he blasted the field in qualifying by 0.2 of a second.
He's like our Kyle Busch is what Kyle Busch is in Xfinity, and Jake Gordon is Brad Keselowski or Joey Logano. I mean, they're the two guys that are always competing. They're the main drivers and come down here and dominate.
Oh yeah, definitely. As I believe it's 2 pace laps around here, right?
Any track shorter than a mile, yes.
Yeah, I thought so. As they all getting nicely revved up, ready to go. We've got 18 cars in the field tonight, our biggest field of the year so far. I'm thinking, because
It definitely seems like it.
I don't think Charlotte was this big, was it?
I don't think so. We have, what is it? I'm waiting for the field to actually even out properly. It's still messing up on the screen.
We have 18 cars.
Well, it's still showing us as the top four with Terry in there, because
We do have 18 starting, yes. Martin Miller did not grid.
he might just be watching then. He might do a starting part.
Yeah, I mean, Martin hasn't really had any practice time around here, so it might be difficult for him to gain any position.
And here we go. Green flag.
As they all go green.
And Isaiah takes the lead going down into turn 1. It looks like they fanned out pretty big once the green flag fell because of how... Oh, but we have a wreck!
On the,
All right, man. Caution
on
is
the
out.
turn
Caution
4,
is out.
Thomas Powell and Creighton Carter getting into it very early. We're under caution, only on lap 2. What a shame for Creighton and Thomas there.
Gonna watch it on half speed here, coming out of turn 4 from Thomas Powell's point of view. Oh, excuse me, turn 2. They go down into the corner. He just gets a huge run and then just gets stuck in the rear end of the 71 of Creighton Carter and just carries him to the outside wall. And they both went tumbling. I don't think he ran enough practice laps. He ran tons of practice laps. I'm surprised that he didn't know the car was going to do that.
There was a huge secondary wreck after that. Brandon Graham got involved. Ronnie Osmer got involved. Mike Whitaker got involved. There was a huge wreck after that. Bob Lacavara got involved as well.
And I hate to make you guys repeat yourselves, but what'd you guys see there?
I saw Thomas Powell get into the back of Creighton Carter.
That's what I saw as well.
I saw that too. Johnny Antonucci, his car's completely totaled. He's trying to make it back to pit road, but the way that car's crabbing, I'm not sure he's going to make it.
Trying to get a view from the blimp of the incident that Michael Whitaker was in to get an idea of what happened there. Oh, it looked like one car got loose coming off turn 2, but they made it through. I hear the wreck happen, and then someone trying to preemptively avoid it went slapping into the wall, and then other people... Okay, so what happened was they got caught up in trying to avoid the wreck. And someone just said, go Graf and chat. He is actually not racing. He is up here in the booth today. He is the race control. So saying go Graf is actually a moot point for tonight's race. But I'm pretty sure he's happy to hear someone's rooting for him.
Out of curiosity, who said that?
It says Nate Dean.
Oh, I race with Nate. Hi, Nate.
And Dylan Lucas, I'm not sure if you guys saw that. He got spun out on the first lap. Before
he got loose coming off turn 2 while they wrecked in 3 and 4.
We'll review that as well. Thank you for mentioning that.
He just got loose. No one got into him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just spun it. Tried to correct and overcorrected. Basically
So
what they
wreck-
warn teenagers about.
So that wreck has promoted Ronnie Osmer up to second place. Even though he spun trying to avoid the wreck, he's still up there in second place, which is amazing. Mike Erter, Jose Olivas, Dave Daniel in the top 5 now on his first race. Drew Giancarli, Dominic Byrne. Dominic Byrne started at the back. How has he got up to 7th already? That's amazing.
I can tell you exactly how, because we had about 9 cars involved in that wreck.
That's true, but you know. Hoot Baker, he's up into 8th place. Brandon Graham, he's managed to get it back out on track and in 9th place. And David Llewellyn, last week's winner, is in 10th place.
It looks like we had 8 cars that had to go down pit road and ended up falling at least 1 lap down.
Wow.
Because there are only 10 cars left on the lead lap. We have 3 1 lap down: Martin Miller, Jason Colburn, and Robert Lacavara. And then Creighton Carter, Thomas Powell,
Green flag, green flag.
And one more, 3 laps down as we go.
Yeah, we go green again. Isaiah Dupree getting another jump on the start again. Ronnie Osmer staying with him this time. Ronnie Osmer, we know he can stay with people, so we'll keep an eye on that. Mike Erter back in 3rd. Jose Olivas in 4th place. He's our championship leader. He's going to be up there for sure, and he's looking to get as many points as he can to ensure his victory in this series. Dave Daniel still holding his own in 5th place with Dominic Byrne behind him now in the 86.
Yeah, right now I have it on the leader, Isaiah Dupree, because someone's spinning on the apron. Because Ronnie Osmer was right there on his tail end before they came up on that rack on that spin.
Yeah, and we stay green despite that spin. Ronnie Osmer falling back now into the clutches of Mike Erter.
It looks like I saw more smoke. Someone else spin?
Yeah, there was another spin.
Knock, knock.
And for those wondering who that just was, that was Terry Adams, the guy who made our setup tonight.
Just to point out, with listening to guys up in there, might want to watch leaders' blinks.
It has already been pointed out.
Okay, didn't
Thank
know,
you.
maybe happened. Yeah, could have happened there. I'll let you guys get back to work. Have a fun time.
we're having lots of fun up here. We got another spinner coming out of turn 4 or turn 2. Sorry, not sure who that was, but
Johnny Antonucci.
oh, not again.
That was his second spin in about 3 laps. It looks like he went and disconnected.
Yeah, he's retired from the race now. He's had a bad start to this race, which is unfortunate for Johnny.
Dominic Byrne back there in the Hello Kitty car. I keep thinking he's in a bubble. I keep thinking it's bubble gum.
Yeah, he likes to run cars like that. He's a bit silly when it's not serious. When he's running down in these Pro Mazdas. When he's running the big 2 cars, he's running the usual Irish scheme, but down here he's got the Hello Kitty going, which is quite funny for him.
Good battle here for third place, as we see Jose Olivas and Mike Herter battling for third, with Dave Daniel and Dominic Byrne tailing right behind him. As we got a 2x2 right here. And with Isaiah Dupree out to a half-second lead and then another 2.5 back to third place. This is the closest battle we have right now.
Yeah, I'm just panning back to Hoot Baker, who's fighting with Brandon Graham for that number 8 spot. Some very close racing around here. I mean, I know it's Bristol and everyone's bunched together, but everyone's so far keeping it clean. I don't want to do the announcer thing on people, but
hey, we did that last week and we stayed great for the majority of the race. It doesn't seem to have the same effect here with the Mazdas. We have a few cautions, but we're normally pretty good with these cars. I think it's the slower speed. It gives people more time to react. And we are now up to a 5-car battle for third place.
Yeah, Jose Olivas in third, Dominic Byrne in fourth. I believe that's Dave Daniel in 5th place.
And then Mike Erder in the
You are
lane.
correct.
And that is Brandon Graham in the other car there, the white and pink, or whatever color, the white and red light.
No, that's Thomas Powell trying to get his lap
that's
back.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why it looked a little different on the ATVO. Hey, if he races them clean, they're not going to have any issues. That's a good thing. And that's what we're looking for.
He probably does have fresher tires right now. We possibly could be seeing a little bit of a what that advantage is with the clean tires.
Pulling off what I believe to be what I like to call the Mark Viga strategy.
Yeah, getting his laps back the hard way, and he's doing it the right way.
Racing clean and just outmaneuvering everybody. Man, he is fun.
Mike Erter following his way through, back up to 3rd place. Good move by Mike, and Dominic Byrne following him through as well, pushing Jose Olivas up the track. Can Dave Daniel make it through as well, perhaps? We'll see as he's following closely behind Dominic Byrne. Yep, he gets past him. He's made it stick. He's up past Jose Olivas, who's unfortunately lost 3 spots in that one move.
And noticing here that while he's almost right up on top of him, Ronnie Osmer has closed into Isaiah Dupree to a 10th of a second. And that's because Isaiah has caught up to traffic, which we have not seen much this season for these cars.
Yeah, and he's right on the tail of Dylan Lucas now, with Ronnie Osmer literally breathing down his neck. Can we see Ronnie Osmer try and get that lead away from Isaiah Dupree? It's going to be very difficult for him, seeing as we already know Isaiah is very hard to pass on any track.
One thing I want to point out, for those wondering, if you're noticing it, what they're doing is they'll put those tires down on the apron just a little bit, because it actually gives you a little bit of speed, as I mentioned in the pre-race. And they're he's using that, trying to get up on Isaiah as much as he can. And yeah, Tyler, you're going to want to look at Isaiah. He's teleporting.
I am watching.
So yeah, hopefully Ronnie's able to keep it clean and get past him, since he's racing for a championship. It's interesting seeing how close this battle is after they were almost a second apart from each other on the restart.
Yeah, and I've noticed, looking back at that battle for 3rd place, Brandon Graham has now joined the fray, and he's fighting his way up there as well now. So some very close racing in the mid-pack.
And right now, I want to point out they are 33 laps into this stint, which makes sense since we're on lap 33. And the fuel window, again, is about 45-46 laps with green flag running. The caution flag might have extended it to about 50.
Yeah,
Which-
so
Which from them, I'm hoping it extended it to at least 50, because then you can make it a one pit stop race, and that will really make it easier for you.
yeah, I mean, so when we get to halfway, that pit stop should make things interesting, as Isaiah is doing all he can to hold off Ronnie Osmer. Ronnie Osmer trying the outside now.
It is very difficult to pass on the outside. It's like our first few setups we had in the IRO5s. It makes the outside not as easy to pass here, unfortunately.
As we've just seen Hoot Baker spin on his lap. Unfortunate for him. He was in the booth with Tony on Tuesday, and he's running this series. He's not too bad in this series, if I'm honest.
And I see a bit of front wing damage on Jose Olivias. Looks like their battle for the third position got a little fierce.
Well, one thing I've noticed with these cars is having a little bit of wing damage doesn't affect them as much as it does the Indy cars. Because when I was doing test laps at Five Flags a few weeks back, and just running in the practice session, I damaged the right wing on the front of the car, the ones you can't see very easily from the cockpit. You can't see it all, actually, because it's so low. I damaged that, and it actually helped the car turn to the left better. So if he's damaged the correct wing, it's actually going to help his car, but it doesn't look like that's the case here because he got stuck on the outside.
The slower open wheel cars, they make so much mechanical grip that wing damage doesn't always matter, but like you said, once you get faster in those bigger cars, it definitely hurts you.
Oh, most definitely. As we turn over to 59 to go now, let's give you a rundown of your top 10. In first place, we have Isaiah Dupree. Second place, Ronnie Osmer. Up to third place now in that close battle is Brandon Graham now. Mike Erter in fourth. Fifth place, and the last guy in the top 5 is Dominic Byrne. Sixth place is Drew Giancarli, running up there very well. Jose Olivas, the points leader, is up in 7th place. 8th place is Dave Daniel. 9th place, David Llewellyn. 10th place and a lap down is now Jason Colburn. Martin Miller fighting his way for the field. He's a lap down in 11th place. 2 laps down is Robert LaCravara in 12th place. 13th and 14th are Thomas Powell and Creighton Carter, both 3 laps down. 15th and 16th are Dylan Lucas and Mike Whitaker, both 5 laps down. Hoot Baker is now 9 laps down. I'm not sure if he's parked it or not.
He just did it.
Okay. He's back out on track, but he's 9 laps down, and we've had 1 retiree so far, which is Johnny Antonucci. Guys, interesting race so far.
Watching the
And
lap...
we got our first round of pit stops starting here, with Ronnie Osmer pitting, and Jose Olivias just caught his pit.
Yeah, I was watching the times, and Ronnie and Isaiah were going so fast, they were putting about 2 to 3 tenths a second a lap on the rest of the field. If I'm Isaiah here, I'm trying to stay out and try and make it to lap.
Isaiah
Here he is
actually
in pits.
just came down the pits.
Is he Canadian?
That's a good question, eh? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, because he's running a Canadian car.
I thought
You know, they
Isaiah would-
say the luck of the Irish is a thing, but I've never seen the luck of the Canadian.
Yeah.
I think the only reason you could pull that accent off is because of how close you live to Canada.
Oh, I'm a
Canadian.
hop and a skip and a moose antler away.
In good old Minnesota.
Right now, Brandon Graham is in the lead. As the longest I saw someone out there for was 50 laps. They made it all the way to halfway. You know that they're going to be trying to stretch it all the way out. Didn't see who it was, though. I feel like it was David Llewellyn.
Ronnie Osborne's been caught a lap down from Isaiah Dupree. I don't know how that happened, but I'm wondering if
Brandon Graham. Oh,
No.
yeah, you're right.
I'm wondering if Ronnie Osborne was caught speeding in pit road or something, maybe.
15 seconds hold on pit road here is about
More than a
lap.
lap.
So
I think he might have just overshot his pit or undershot it, and it cost him a few seconds, and that's all it needed.
I
But
did
we're
see
still-
one car miss their stall altogether. I'm not sure if it's the same car that we're talking about.
It looks like he is on the lead lap. Sam. It looks like it was just trying to iron everything out after everybody started to pit.
Oh yeah, I see it coming through now. Isaiah Dupree now takes the lead after, I believe, Brandon Graham just pitted. Dave Daniel now up to 3rd place. Ronnie Osmer in 4th place, back on the lead lap.
Wait, so Brandon Graham just pit on lap 54 of the previous lap. He can go to the end from here almost. He's probably going to try and push it. If I was him, I would. Oh wow!
He just had a couple cars get together.
Dylan Lucas.
That's a good save there.
Yeah, Dylan Lucas came out of pit road and came straight up the track and right in front of Ronnie Osmer. It's given Ronnie Osmer a bit of front wing damage from that. That's unfortunate, but
It has re-updated Ronnie Osmer's lap down. Right now, Isaiah Dupree is the only one on the lead lap.
Brandon Graham is also on the lead lap.
Yeah, but he's going to be slow for these next couple laps. It's still trying to update everything. Yeah, it still isn't sure how far back he is on my end.
Ronnie Osmer's chat's been disabled?
Flaming.
So someone must have got into him and cost him that lap.
Yeah, that was Dylan Lucas. Dylan was coming out of pit road and he came up the track right in front of Ronnie Osmer, and Ronnie had basically nowhere to go.
I was going to say something, but that's not something for the broadcast.
No.
Not about the driver coming out on the track, about the whole flaming thing.
Oh, yeah. But
So we're at 40 laps to go now, and Isaiah Dupree has an 11-second lead over Brandon Graham in second. We heavily need a caution to make it at least somewhat competitive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there almost was then with the incident between Dylan Lucas and Ronnie Osmer, but yeah.
I want to point out, Tyler, you said you haven't heard of the luck of the Canadian. You remember how Isaiah won Iowa? This exact same thing.
That is very true. I don't know if he's Canadian, though.
I think he's part Canadian. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, I mean, I remember at Iowa in the Iowa 5s, he actually caught the whole field one lap down, and I think that's the situation that Forrest is alluding to. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he's doing it right now again. So it's amazing how he's doing it.
And the close battle right now is for 3rd place between Dave Daniel and Jose Olivas. I cannot say his last name ever.
Olivas.
Don't worry, I'm not going to be able to say it properly. But they're battling for 3rd place right now, and they are the only two, it looks like, actually in a tight battle. Everyone is at least a second away from the next guy to battle.
Oh,
If
yeah.
anybody is wondering about the call for between the 17 and the 55, I ruled it a racing incident. Both drivers failed to communicate.
Okay. Yeah.
For future, that's just something that you only call out if it's an actual caution. Just make a note of it for the committee to look at.
No, I understand. Just two drivers mad at each other. Just let them know what I thought.
Understood.
Anyway, back to the race, and Brandon Graham is still holding his own on the lead lap, but he has Isaiah Dupree on the same stretch as him, so it won't be long before he goes a lap down. But for Isaiah to catch Brandon Graham and actually put a lap on him, he's got 4 cars to get around first. So Brandon has got that nice little cushion first before Isaiah can even get to him. But like I said before, Isaiah, he's going to put the whole field a lap down, which is...
He will have to pit again, though, unless we have another caution, because he's been out there 23 laps now, and we have 29 to go. You can't make it 52 green flag laps.
I would like to point out, by just looking at the telemetry here, Creighton Carter's the only driver that didn't lose a lap. He's still 3 laps down, but everybody else that was on the 3 laps down with him went down to 4th. So Creighton must have had a good in and out on his pit stop.
Well, no, because Brandon Graham didn't lose a lap when he pitted.
Did he not either? That is good.
He lost a few seconds, but he didn't lose a whole lap.
Alright, man, caution is
Oh,
out.
Caution's out.
That is... Let me find that for a second.
if I'm Brandon Graham, I am breathing a sigh of relief right now.
Yeah, that was Jason Colburn that wrecked just then.
Like I'll go into the replay and all of a sudden I just see him in the air. Oh, what happened there?
He basically got slapped into the wall by Hoot Baker. That was dangerous. Like Tony says in the other streams on Tuesdays and Sundays, thank God this is a sim.
Oh yeah, he just dove to the inside there and just wasn't able to keep it down to the inside. Almost collected Dominic Byrne as well.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, Dominic Byrne is fighting for a top 5 as well, so if he caught Dominic Byrne, there would have been another unhappy driver out there.
Well, the two lead lap drivers, of course, went down pit road, Isaiah and Brandon both, and I guess Dave Daniel got the lucky dog because he is now showing up in second place for some reason. He should be in third since he will be into the longest line for being lucky dog, if I'm correct there, right?
Yeah. When it cycles out, it'll be put to the back of the field.
Unless Brandon Graham sped on pit road, of course.
I mean, how amazing would that be? His first race in the series and Dave Daniel gets to the front. I mean, it's pretty much unheard of. I don't think we've had a debut winner in the series yet, have we?
Who won the first race?
I believe it was David Llewellyn. None of our rookies have won races yet. I don't. Oh, Ronnie Osman won at Richmond, I believe.
Actually, Mike Whitaker won at Richmond, I believe.
Oh yeah. Which one did?
Yep, Charlotte was David Llewellyn.
Richmond was Mike Whitaker. So Martinsville was Ronnie.
Martinsville was Ronnie Osborne. He won by 9/10 of a second.
Wow.
Watkins Glen, the one race that I just could not bring myself to sit through was Jake Gordon. Who else?
Yeah,
Five
that was.
Flags was Isaiah. Who else? I think that y'all's team has a what's it called?
Unfair advantage.
No, monopoly on the series because Jake Gordon then won at Lucas Oil.
I think the only repeat winner we've got in this series so far is David Llewellyn, who won last time out at Gateway.
David has 2, Jake has 2.
Oh, okay. As we, Jason Colburn has put it behind the wall after that wreck with Hoot Baker. Unfortunate for him. Let's hope we see him back again next week.
We had a good amount of wave arounds right now.
And the only one who got back on the lead lap was Jose Olivas, who, by the way, has 30 laps on his stint. If I was him, I would be hoping and praying for there to be at least one more caution so I know that I'd be able to make it to the end. Because right now...
Sorry, Soros. It looks like we're going to have 5 cars in the lead lap. Brandon Graham, Dave Daniel, Jose Olivias, and Dominic Byrne.
Dominic Byrne for me is
Green
still
flag,
showing up on
green
lap
flag.
down.
Oh,
Okay,
what a restart by Isaiah. Sorry, guys. They've just gone green again. Isaiah Dupree got one hell of a jump on everybody. Dave Daniel in second place, but let's see if Brandon Graham, see if he can reel him back in now. But it's, like I said, I keep saying it's going to be difficult to get Isaiah back at this point.
Ooh, we got some contact between the 44 and the 46. Great save by the 46 car of Dave Daniel.
Yeah.
He's going to lose tons of track position.
Hey guys, I'm going to put it into I have a crank it up camera. I'm going to go ahead and put it up into that real quick.
Oh yeah, let's crank it up, boys and girls.
Alright, man, caution it out. Caution it
I
out.
tried. We have a wreck right as I go
Erder
into it.
into the inside wall.
Who was it?
David Llewellyn, I believe. Mike Erder and David Llewellyn into the inside wall.
Don't know why I asked. I should have recognized that blue anywhere. Here they are coming off of turn 4. David Llewellyn leading the pack. They go down into turn 1. Mike Erger on his tail end. Gets down to the inside and just clips the left rear tire. Like, I don't think the spotter called him there, so David thought he was clear. At least that's what it looked like to me.
That's unfortunate for David because he's running high on confidence after his win last week, so that will have kind of put him down in mood a bit. But I'm sure he'll be back and running up front again when we go to either Phoenix or Indy next week.
Hey Tyler, now Dominic should be on the lead lap because there he goes getting waved around. So remember what I said about Jose? He got the caution.
Yeah, and he's
That
back
should
up
give
there
him-
again.
That should give him like 1 or 2 laps to the good. Not much, but just enough.
And Dave Daniel must be breathing a sigh of relief as well because he had that contact during the last green flag run, which made him lose a ton of spots.
And it lets him go down pit road and only start as low as 5th. Technically 4th because of Dominic getting the EOL.
Yeah. But yeah, Dave Daniel, he must be breathing a sigh of relief after all that.
I'll wait until Tyler's back to say, but
Yeah, he's dealing with the caution, but we're up here talking anyway, so it's all good.
no, I'm gonna say something when nothing regarding to the race or anything, nothing for the viewers to be concerned about, wondering what's going on. It's
Oh,
just
if you're
what I
gonna-
plan to do.
I thought you were going to roast him. That's
No.
As Dylan Lucas puts it behind the wall as well, he's our 3rd retirement of the night. That's his 2nd race in succession. He's had a bad night. I mean, on Tuesday he raced with us at Daytona and he had a shocking start to the race. He ran up there with the front pack for a good while, but he came undone very quickly, which is unfortunate. I think you were caught up in that wreck, weren't you, on Tuesday? With Dylan Lucas?
I didn't race Tuesday. Oh wait, no, Tuesday? No, the wreck. Okay, the wreck that happened Tuesday night was Gary Bauer slid up a little bit in turn 1 or 2 and got up into the left rear of Mike Whitaker, and I had nowhere to go because I had just backed up a little bit to try and get ready to pit. And so I ended up being right where Gary's car was and T-boned the side of his car, and we were the ones that had to tow because of that impact.
And I'm still amazed. I mean, as a driver, I'm still amazed that only went to one. That was the only caution for the whole race. I mean, it was a fantastic race on Tuesday. I couldn't have had a... Well, I finished 11th. I know you had a bad race after that.
As disappointed, as upset as I am, I'm just glad that we've gotten to the point now with the league where we've had 3 straight races now where we've expected something like for it to be a wreck fest. I mean, Auto Club, Iowa, and Daytona, where we've had 2 of those tracks we've raced at before, and it was wreck fests. And Iowa, we expected to be a wreck fest, judging by all the practice races we had done. And then we get to the races, and they're clear as day. So it's been amazing to watch. And now that Tyler is back up here in the booth with us, I'm going to go back
Green
to
flag, green flag. Alright, man, caution is out. Caution is
As we're
out.
going to caution again. Oh, cautions are breeding cautions tonight.
Well, at least that time we got a few laps of the good speed and cranking it up. Do we have calls for instance? And the pace car slammed into the wall right in the middle of the broadcast.
Oh God, the pace car driver's drunk again.
No, the best part about that was seeing the pace car do it on the broadcast. Dead center in the screen. Smacks the wall. For all of our 10 viewers to see. I actually don't know how many are watching right now. Do we have a number for me to go view?
No, I can't find anybody.
Oh, wait. It doesn't tell me a card, just tells me that we went to yellow. Are you listening to Race Chatter?
No.
So,
I'm sorry.
I was just curious what the caution was so I can bring it up on broadcast.
So, Bob Acavara had a net code. Just basically, he was in the center of the corner, and the car just jumped dead sideways. Nothing he could do. A lot of the drivers have been complaining about some weird net coding stuff. That's something we'll have to bring up later for next season for this track.
Yeah, I mean netcodes, that can be a problem. I mean we've experienced them in the Indy cars, and
I know what that was. That's exactly what that wasn't necessarily netcode. It's not that's not a netcode incident. That is a client-side glitch. I mean they call it netcode in the Tuesday and Sundays, but what it is where on the client side something glitches with the car and it does what Tony has dubbed as the tunnel glitch.
That's what I thought.
Because that's what happened. I think that happened Tuesday night, but it happened so that no caution came out. Because it was after I was 3 laps down. I'm pretty sure y'all remember going, there was no caution for that? Because I really needed that yellow.
yeah. Okay, our top 5 as we see right now is all top 5 are on the lead lap right now. We've got Isaiah Dupree still in the lead. Jose Olivas up to 2nd now. Dave Daniel in 3rd place, which is great. Brandon Graham in 4th place, and rounding out the top 5 is Dominic Byrne. Ronnie Osmer is 6th, a lap down. 7th is Thomas Powell and Creighton Carter at 7th and 8th, 3 laps down, coming back pretty well to getting back in the top 10 after their early wreck. 9th and 10th are Drew Giancarli and Mike Hurta, both 4 laps down.
So, seeing that the caution flag flew on lap 89, and I know for a fact at this track it's a 5-lap caution flag because it's a short track. So that means we're going to be going green. It looks, yep, lap 96. That's actually a little bit longer of a caution flag this time, though. So we'll be going green with 5 laps to go.
We're going green with 10 laps to go. I'm sorry, I'm watching the wrong car. I'm wrong.
That's why I have ATVO. It tells me no matter if I'm on a lap down car or not.
I was spectating a car that was 5 laps down.
As the pace car's about to peel off.
Just want to point out the cars for this series are so much more varied in color. We go green and Isaiah with another good jump, and this time he's got Jose hunting him down, and we know that Jose's hungry.
Look at Dave Daniel, who jumps on the inside and takes that 2nd place away.
Just want to point out Isaiah is now up to 48 laps. He will be pushing it and will probably start sputtering sometime soon.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because he's got a hungry bunch of rookies behind him.
And there's a wreck.
Big accident. Huge crash. It looks like it was Ronnie Osmer got hit by somebody.
Thomas Powell turned Brandon Graham.
Was that his 2nd?
That's his 2nd.
For who?
Thomas Powell.
Watching it on the replay here, he gets a good run coming off the corner, going down off turn 4, going into 1 and 2. He's still right there. He gets under him. Oh, okay. He went onto the apron and expected to be let back up onto the track, and he was underneath the driver and wasn't given the room, which he didn't have to be.
And that, my broadcast partners, I believe, is the race.
It is. We do not have enough laps left. Isaiah Dupree is our winner. And Sam, since you're usually the one who does it, if you could get me a screenshot when he's doing the burnout.
Yep, can do. It's not showing his paint scheme, but his car's gonna be black, but I'll do it. I'll get it then. So we've had 5 cars manage to stay on the lead lap. I mean, Brandon Graham, I think he's going to manage to save it back on the lead lap, hopefully.
Yeah. The one thing I want to point out about this before we really get into the finishing order, since we still haven't hit the checker flag just yet, so we don't know what might happen to some of these drivers, like internet going out or the like. But we were expecting a little bit more cautions. I mean, I was glad to see that we made it one full pit road run, and I think we made it all the way through the second one, or almost all the way through it.
Yeah, more or less.
We finished it and then had an accident directly after.
Yeah, I mean, we had cautions fall just right for Jose, but unfortunately he was on the outside line for that last restart, or else he would have been right there with Isaiah fighting for the lead.
And that Dave Daniel through, who's managed to get a 2nd place on his debut race with the league, which is amazing to say the least.
I'm not sure if it was Ronnie Osmer or Jose, Ronnie or Jose who did it, but in the first race of the season at Charlotte, one of those two guys finished second. So that's the first time someone running their first race with the league has finished in one of the first two spots there.
As Isaiah Dupree has crossed the line now for his second win of the season. Fantastic for him. Well done to Isaiah Dupree for winning the Bristol round of the ISL Pro Mazda Icebreaker Series. Let's run you down our finishers. Dave Daniel finishes second. Jose Livas finishing third after that incident at the end. Dominic Byrne claiming the top 5 in fourth. Ronnie Osmer taking away that 5th place from Brandon Graham, which is unfortunate. He's a lap down. Creighton Carter coming back to 6th place. Good for him. Brandon Graham finally gets down to 7th place, 3 laps down in the end. Mike Erter, 8th place, 4 laps down. Drew Giancarli, 9th, 4 laps down. And Thomas Powell, he's disconnected, but he's still credited with the top 10. So that's our top 10 finishes for tonight.
Who would you guys like me to grab first?
Do we have all 3 here?
Let me
Could you
see.
just tell Jose to come on to TeamSpeak if you could.
Since Alex asked, we had 5 cautions tonight for 23 laps and only 2 lead changes, with the fastest lap being a 13.683.
Okay, so I'm gonna Tyler, if there you go.
And we got Isaiah Dupre joining us here in the booth. Isaiah, how was that race for you?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really confused by a lot of things that went down in that race. On that pit stop we had under green, I don't know how the entire field went a lap down, but I'm not gonna complain.
I believe during that pit stop, Ronnie Osmer was caught with a penalty, so he ended up a lap down from you. Very good race though, Isaiah. Well done, winning your 2nd race in the season. What was your strategy going into this race?
Don't take tires and hope and pray that it doesn't fall off at like 90 to 100 laps there. That was my biggest fear coming after I didn't take tires on the caution, was that something was going to happen with like 10 to go and it was going to screw me over, but thankfully the tires stuck with us for some cautions there.
Yeah, and there certainly were cautions near the end, and it did work in your favour, because on that last restart you had about 3 or 4 hungry rookies like lining up just to take your take that win away from you, but luckily that last caution fell in your favour. So yeah, well done on the win, Isaiah. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, everybody at NLR of Sim Racing for helping me out tonight, Creighton for moral support back in the field, and everybody up in the booth and race control tonight.
One more question that I have. How much fuel did you have in the tank there at the end of the race?
I took a full tank there.
You did take a full tank, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't think it really mattered that much.
And 4?
Okay, thank you, Isaiah. We'll let you get back up and celebrate with your team. And congratulations again on the race win.
Thank you.
And we have Dave Daniel here in TeamSpeak if someone wants to see if he wants to come down for an interview.
User was moved out of your channel.
Jose, unfortunately, is not
User
here.
left your channel.
Yeah, I've got a good screenshot of. I'll get a good
User was
screenshot of
moved to
Isaiah's
your
call.
channel. User joined your channel.
And we have Dave Daniel in the booth with us. Dave, have you got a copy?
I've got you.
Dave, a fantastic 2nd place on your debut tonight. How'd you feel, mate?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I mean, I just tried to take it easy, avoid trouble. During that long run there, I had some great scraps in a battle for 3rd, and just kind of helped out with so many guys got a lap down that when we got those cautions late, I had all the track position and just kind of rode it to the finish. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it seems like you had a lot of scrapes in there, especially midway through the race when you got into it with another driver. Were you worried at that point that your race was done, or did you have the confidence that you get back up there in time?
I was worried. There was one point in the middle of the race where I almost crashed, and I had to just slow down and let everybody go by. But it was to my advantage that there weren't too many cars on the lead lap, so one caution and I was right back up there. So that was the saving grace for me.
User left your channel.
Yeah, it was fantastic seeing you run out there. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of cautions, but yeah, they worked in your favour as well. You did extremely well up there. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's finish?
I'd just like to thank Alex for inviting me to the league. I'm really enjoying it so far, and hope I can continue to progress and maybe up there in the DWs.
Well, regarding the DWs, five of the members of the league who are part of the powers that be were present for tonight's race or watching it on the broadcast. So, I mean, you impressed us up here, and two of them were up here in the booth. So, you're definitely well on your way to joining us up there.
Yeah, I mean, even I said to you the other night on Facebook, Dave, that asking you if you wanted to come and run with us in the big cars and next season, and yeah, I can see the potential in you driving. I mean, I saw you driving when we were doing the Cadillacs the other week, and yeah, I've got high hopes for you. You've done really well tonight. Well, congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just looking forward to getting some more experience, and hopefully I can improve my craft a little bit.
Okay, Tyler, is there anything you want to add before?
Was moved to your channel.
I just got Dominic Byrne. Since we didn't have our third place finisher in the team speak, I grabbed Dom, who finished fourth.
Okay, Dave, congratulations on the second place, and we'll let you get back up to main gate to celebrate your second place.
Thanks, guys.
Congrats, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Dominic, fourth place finish tonight, starting from the back, which was amazing. How do you feel about that finish? That was a very interesting race for you, from what I could see.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was intense. Like, there wasn't many cautions at the beginning of the race, which was kind of fun, except for the big one who took out, I don't know, about 15 cars. I went from last place to 7th, I think. And then I was going back and forth with a few of the guys there. That was a lot of fun. And then we had the green flag pit stops, which I didn't do too well on. I think I went like 2 laps down. Managed to get a lap back on the caution. And then I got another lap back on the next caution.
Yeah, you certainly put the work in there tonight, Dom. I mean, like you said, yeah, you were 2 laps down and managed to bring the cautions into your favour with those waiver rounds. You definitely had a fight in your hands, but we certainly noticed you out there with that bright pink car.
Thanks, yeah. No, that was the last minute change. They thought, if people noticed the car, they might, freak out for a second and then hit the wall. So that might be in my advantage.
Well, thankfully that didn't happen, and the cautions worked in your favour instead.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
I might treaded the needle 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and you definitely got the rewards out of it. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for your top 5?
I'd like to thank Terry for making an awesome setup, and the guys at Three Musketeers. Unfortunately, none of them could race with me tonight, but I'd like to thank teammates anyway.
Yeah, doing it for the team.
And of course, Race Control and everyone up in the booth. Thanks for everything you guys do. You guys are awesome.
You are very welcome. Guys, is there anything you'd like to ask Dominic before we move on?
I'm good. I'm just getting everything set up for our closing moments here.
Okay.
Just congrats on the good finish. It was a tough race out there tonight.
Thanks very much, man. Yeah, no, it was really good race. I enjoyed it.
All right, Dominic, we'll let you get back up there and celebrate your top 5 finish.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations again, mate.
Cheers.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. You guys have anything else you'd like to add here?
Very entertaining race for such a short track with these cars. I mean, I've had a lot of fun up in the broadcast booth with you guys tonight. It's been a very interesting race, a lot of controversial wrecks concerning a couple of drivers, but overall a good race. We've had a lot of the rookies giving each other a hard time, and ultimately one of our league mainstays got the crucial win at the end, and good race overall.
Yeah, it's great to see a lot of hard racing between all the newcomers to the league and for the feeder series here. Although there were some cautions caused, but both the cautions were balanced out between veterans and between new guys. So everybody on a very even playing field for the most part, and I'm excited to see what next season brings for these guys. Whether they stay in the Mazdas or they come up to the big Indy cars and duel it out with us.
Yeah, and it should be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, we said about Dave Daniel, he's showing very early promise. Brandon Graham, he's had a good start to his tenure with the league. I mean, Jose Olivas, our points leader, he's gained a much bigger advantage this time, finishing third place. I mean, especially over Ronnie Osmer, who clawed it back amazingly to get fifth place after that wreck he was in earlier. I mean, we've got some good up-and-coming talent, and I'm excited to see what they can do for the future.
All right. I assume we should probably get to the closing moments here. Just want to remind everybody before we close it out here that this race was brought to you by RobertTechJobs.com. He's the sponsor of the whole entire league, whether it's our Mazdas, our RR5s, or GW12s. And if you're in the Midwest and you have any tech needs, make sure to contact him and let him know that the ISL or ISL Icebreaker Series sent you over his way.
Okay, guys. That doesn't leave us much else to say for this broadcast. A good race. Look forward to next week, whether it's Phoenix or Indianapolis. So all that's left to say is my name is Sam Cooper Bennett. With me in the booth was Tyler Graff and Forrest Sparks on cameras. And we wish you a good night.